Okay, so here we have the Harry Potter miniature from Night Models. So we're starting off with a Doorstone Grey base, all the flagstones down there. Then we're doing the same grey on Harry's jumper sleeves, and in a minute the jumper. Again, this is sort of work in progress for me because I'm still trying to keep things in focus. I've got a habit of moving my hands about too much. So here we have the Abaddon Black mixed with the Doorstone Grey, the majority of his cloak. Well, not the majority, all of his cloak. I'm not going to talk all the way through this, but it's roughly about 21 minutes long. Total time it took me about 36 minutes. There is a bit where I sort of pause the video and obviously use a hairdryer, and the bit the shot glass he's standing on I actually cracked because I was holding it too tightly. But it's getting a bit old, like some of the brushes are in this video. Some of my newer brushes I forgot to bring home, so I was just using what I had. So the shoes on Harry are just straightforward black. And trying to get all the different sort of shades in black and grey separate. It's obviously a bit of a trial when the majority of it is a black miniature. Again, just blacking the hair in. I think with this one, everyone's fear is obviously Harry's glasses. Unfortunately, if you end up making them too visible, they end up looking like a pair of goggles. Hopefully I've done him justice, which you'll see at the end, because I'll do a still shot of him afterwards as well, because I know from already watching this through that there's definitely some focusing issues. Again, this is another slight version of the Abaddon Black and Doorstone Grey mix. Again, just trying to make it look a little bit different, rather than just painting him pretty much completely black apart from a bit of burgundy and grey. So this is actually the second time I'm recording this voiceover, because a minute ago I actually thought it was recording and it wasn't. So I've had to do it again. So the thing is, I've got the computer screen straight in front of me now, so I keep looking up to see if I'm in focus. But sometimes it's just a little bit too late to realise that I've moved my hands out of shot, because I'm too busy concentrating on painting. I'm not necessarily seeing where he is. Okay, so under the cloak, etc., is the Crusted Saw paint from Army Painter. Apart from the Crusted Saw from Army Painter and the Ivory from Vallejo, everything else is Citadel paints. And the washes and Agrax Earthshade. And in total, including the wash, what are we looking at? 10 paints. Or I suppose 9 paints, 1 wash, to do the whole figure. Could have possibly speeded this video up a bit more. As I say, unfortunately, because of all the blurry, focusy stuff, I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to see. But I'm giving you all the paints and I'm giving you what I've done so far. So I did actually miss that bit, but the wand is a Rhinox hide dark brown. The shirt is the ivory. Which I'm actually just doing now. Don't know what it is, I have a little bit of a thing where I use white for a little while and then I'm like, no, prefer the ivory. I just don't like too many things being completely pure white. Obviously you still need it on some miniatures. I really do like these Harry Potter miniatures. This is actually from the second edition, and I did hear about sort of a lot of breakages with the first edition, but these have come out pretty well, and I've actually caught that wand a couple of times. It is a little bit bendy, which is quite nice, or a little bit flexible I should say, not bendy. So this is Cadian Flesh Tone, I hope that's how you pronounce it. Never been the best at pronouncing some of the names of these paints. So it's about 10 to midnight now. I had hoped to have had this up on YouTube tonight, which I still might do, but I obviously would have done it about half an hour ago if it recorded the first time. So just adding the flesh in here. I think there's a short pause where I hairdryer it all. No, it's not a short pause. No, it's just straight back into the Agrax Airshade. Oh, there you go, that's coming back straight after I quickly hair dried it. So at the only bit which I didn't see the point in filming because nobody really wants me to watch me with a hairdryer on a miniature. So I'm now going back with all the original colours, and in most cases I'm adding the ivory to the mix for the highlights. Obviously with some of the greys etc, or should I say blacky greys, I was adding bits of grey to the mix. All those colours are off shot. Oh, I really wish this camera would focus in. Unfortunately it's a manual focus on it, but it has the advantage of having the time lapse etc, and when I'm holding it like that you can at least see what's going on. There's a couple of bits I do here that I'm not happy with, and I'll go back over them in a minute, which you'll possibly see. Now back on the ivory on the shirt there. The little crest and tyres got that sort of mustardy yellow, which is Avalan Sunset. And when it comes around to it, I use the Memphis Stone red to to do the little lightning strike on his head, which is a little bit of a way off, and just for the wand, Morgfang brown, just for some of the highlights. Just mention it now. As I said, all this is just crusted silver with a little bit of ivory added into the mix. I think if I remember rightly, I had to go over this a couple of times anyway. So here I am, just sort of mixing some of the colours in. I try to keep the wet palette sort of in front of me, the camera on my left and my rinse well on the right, which leaves my hands pretty much trapped to being in the middle, and hopefully staying in focus as I'm painting. I sort of added some little grey highlights into the hair, but then I realised they were a little bit too big, so I went back in and took some of them out with black. Even though I'm using a 00 brush, it's a slightly old one and rather worn. So here I'm just using the original sort of blacky grey mixes that I created, and as I said, adding a bit of ivory to it. Again, apologies that I'm taking Harry out of the shot, and all you can see is my finger for about a minute. So here, just going back over the flagstones with the Doorstone Grey, and just adding again the ivory to the mix in a moment. A bit of radio silence because there's not really much I can tell you here. You can pretty much see what's going on here because I've got it fairly in focus, and it's just sort of blacky grey mix with the ivory. There's a bit here which you can't quite see where I actually noticed there was a slight bit of crusted tour on the leg, which I'd missed. So I went back in and took that out. Now, one of the main issues I'm still having as well is the lighting. It doesn't help when I'm doing these videos very late at night, because I say this is now midnight. I'm just hopefully finishing off this audio and then going to save it all. but because it's taken 13,000 shots, it's got a habit of crashing as well, which is not helpful. There you go, you can see a thumb come in there, a little bit too much grey on the leg there. Go back to just a straightforward black around the base edging. Again, I pulled him up too high and he's out of focus. I'll get there. So you go the Mornfang brown, just highlights up on the wand there. And I decided to do a little spark of ivory on the end, as if he just fired something off or was about to fire something off. Your choice really. So I'm just blackening the eyes here. This is the worst fear about this miniature. The glasses. I'm trying to make them look like glasses rather than great big fat black goggles. I'm just going back over the crest here with the Avaland sunset. I was a bit on the tie again. Earlier when I actually did it, there was a slight slip up. There was a bit of water that came straight down the brush and went all over the shirt. You probably saw me sucking back up with the paintbrush. You can clearly see this is a very worn out brush here. But it works for me. I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if I was mixing some paint or what though. Oh yes, I was just finding the red to do the lightning strike on his head. As I mentioned earlier, it's Memphiston red. I'm just adding white in, oh, not white, ivory into the corners to create the eyes. I'm now just highlighting out the flesh. And this is the part where I actually found out that I had 5 fingers because I'd accidentally painted the end of the wand with flesh tone, which obviously I rectified. So not long left now. What have we got? We've got about a minute or so before I do the main bit I'm scared of, the glasses. hoping this video saves this time because I don't fancy doing this for a third time. Yep, just about done. There is one thing that I do obviously afterwards off camera, and that's spray it with an anti-shine varnish. Yep, here we go. All or nothing. Going in for the glasses. And there you have it. Harry Potter.